Back 4 Blood, Left 4 Dead and Killing Floor. All pretty well known and decent zombie shooters. And well, where is the one for VR? Well, in this review we are going to find out if After the Fall is the zombie shooter to have in your VR game library. In the world of After the Fall, you are playing as a harvest runner, who in a frozen dystopian LA is tasked to ensure mankind can survive for another day. Now this sounds like an amazing story, but let me start by saying that this is not a game you buy because of the storyline, cause there is none. In this game, you team up with other players and enter a so-called harvest run, to take out as many zombies as you can, find loot, kill the final boss and return to your base. You can do this by grouping with 3 other players to form a team of 4 or play with the AI. Selecting the harvest run and grouping up with other players you do in the social hub, called The Line.
Welcome to The Line. Temperature at The Line is maintained at 68 degrees. We kindly ask residents to dress warmly in order to further improve energy savings.
This is where, after the tutorial and after every run, you will end up. The Line acts as a big lobby where players can find a team and select a harvest run at one of the arcade machines. Crossplay is there, so you see people on the Quest 2, PSVR and PCVR all together. Now there are in total 5 different levels and each run takes about 25 to 30 minutes. And when starting a run, you can choose between 4 different difficulty levels: Survivor, Veteran, Master and Nightmare. Playing on harder difficulty levels will grant you better loot. And with loot I mean an orange substance that is gathered from shooting and killing snowbreeds, the zombies. With those you can upgrade attachments for your guns, which I will show you later. But in order to buy those upgrades you need to unlock them first. You can unlock them by finding floppy disks during a harvest run. They are hidden throughout the level and once you complete a harvest run, you will be seeing what attachment or gun you will unlock. But remember, if you die during a harvest run, you can also say bye-bye to those floppy disks you have found. Now the level design in my opinion is great, and that goes for PC VR. Rooms are stuffed with things and it really feels like you are running through a lift apartment, for example. Together with some decent graphics make this game very immersive. Now let's say you make it out alive after a run. Back in the hub you can go to the armory and from there you can unlock new weapons and attachments. The crafting can be done by placing your weapon on the stand and put your attachment to the gun. You can also put them off the weapon and change them around. After you are set up, you are ready to jump back in to another harvest run. Do know that there are quite a few settings you can adjust to the player mechanics to your liking. There is teleportation and smooth movement. There is an ammo belt, but if you prefer a selection wheel a la Half-Life Alyx, that is also possible. Now what I find a great addition is that they have implemented 2 ways to reload your weapon. The first one is quick reload, which means that if your magazine runs out of bullets, you have to bring it to your chests and voila, the gun is reloaded. The second one is more realistic and is called advanced reloading. This is what you are used to as for example in Pavlov or Onward, where you have to insert the magazine and then pull back the slides and bolts to cock your weapons. Do know that choosing this realistic option gives you 50% extra loot. Now if you are tired of doing runs, there is a 4 vs 4 deathmatch option you can choose. And I have to say that I really enjoy the PvP part of this game, and I would see myself playing this a lot. Currently there are 2 PvP maps available. All these things I just mentioned make the game really fun and in my opinion the zombie game to get as of now. There are however some things that you have to take into account. As I said, there are only 5 levels, so I wonder for how long this will keep me entertained. Right now I am enjoying them doing multiple times, but for how long, you know? Is it going to be a grind? The developers however said that there is much more to come and they will keep the game up to date with new maps, for example. This also goes for the different enemies. There are just, the same enemies returning in every single level. And, well, that was some sort of a disappointment. But again, I'm sure the devs would add more later on. And by adding more and more content, I hope they can keep up with the player retention. And by playing the PvP, I just hope they add more PvP modes. Because honestly, when I was playing, I was actually fantasizing about a 5 or 6 player free-for-all PvP mode in a somewhat bigger map where you have to loot and exit a la Escape from Tarkov. That will make it all so tense and so good, and I would just love to play such a game. It will let me come back. The last thing I want to say is that the immersion sometimes, it breaks because of the arcade machines. The arcade machines you use to buy new equipment, etc. or select, the run that you want to do. As the map design is fantastic, at some points these arcade machines were just bringing me out of that immersion again, and it for some reason does not fit the level design in my opinion, although it gave me some classic synth vibes. All by all, I think this is a great VR game, and if you like arcade action FPS, this is definitely a game to get. And the co-op and playing with friends is just fantastic. If I was a solo player really looking for a game that, tells stories, I'm not so sure if I would be into it. So yes, this is the VR zombie killer you need in your VR game library. And to be honest, I don't see a reason anymore to play a zombie game on a 2D screen. This is it. And this is just the beginning. Now I hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a like. And if you want to keep up to date with all the latest PC VR has to offer, subscribe to this channel. I hope to see you all in my next video. Ciao ciao.